Hey everybody, this is Miss Kagome, and I want to talk to you kind of quickly about Asperger's syndrome. And I'm making this video because my son actually has Asperger's, which now is just autism. But I'm gonna say Asperger's because before autism, in autism, the kids could not really communicate. And they have poor language skills, but my son does not have poor language skills. He also has ADHD, anxiety disorder, OCD, and a learning disability, which sounds like a whole lot, but if you knew my son, it really isn't. You know, we have some struggles, but we get by. It's fine. So, first of all, Asperger's, before it got switched over, was on the autism spectrum. It was considered a high functioning autism because there's no language delay. My son was actually speaking when he was 10 months old. By the time he was 1.5, he was speaking fluently, like whole sentences. I had no problem figuring out what he wanted. He could always tell me. He was very, very detailed in his speech. His vocabulary is like crazy. I always thought he was going to be like the smartest kid in the world. And I found out later that he has a learning disability. It just seems so weird because when he was that small, his vocabulary was crazy. Sometimes I felt like I was talking to a mini adult. So it's like he was an adult trapped in a little kid's body. That's what it felt like. That's how our conversations went. A lot of times the conversations were a bit one-sided, though. We really only talked about what he wanted to talk about, which I found out later was a trait of Asperger's. How he got diagnosed, I had some concerns about developmental delays that I thought, some milestones I thought he should have been making that he wasn't. I talked to his doctor about it, and I guess from what I was describing, she brought up Asperger's syndrome. We went through a lot to actually get testing. The school did not want to test him for Asperger's. They said he didn't have it. They didn't want to test him. Actually had to go in another county to get it done. It took a long time. It took over a year to get a diagnosis, but he did get it. The psychologist that did it said without a doubt that he did have Asperger's syndrome. As far as his language went, like I said, he was speaking when he was 10 months old, and then all of a sudden when he was 3, he developed a stutter, a really strong stutter, to where he couldn't tell me what he needed anymore, and he was just blinking like this, trying to get his words out, and like tapping his fingers and tapping the side of his leg, and I could tell it was very frustrating for him, but I immediately pushed to get him occupational therapy, and his stutter cleared up quickly. I can't stress enough that you should stay on top of these things and push even when they say there's nothing they can do or there's nothing wrong or that it's normal. It is not normal for your child to be speaking full sentences and having full conversations and then start to stutter. To me, that was not normal. So he does not stutter now. You can hardly tell he ever stuttered. It'll catch him occasionally, but it's nowhere like it was before. With Asperger's, there comes like social anxiety, and kids with Asperger's or autism have trouble making friends and things like that. Joshua has made friends, but he has trouble keeping friends, and he usually makes friends with younger children who are a lot younger than him, maybe 3 years younger. I noticed that because he was always getting invites to birthday parties from really little kids. He is 9. He gets invitations from kids turning 6, which is really not a big deal. But even before he got his diagnosis, I wanted him to be able to make friends, and I saw that it was a little difficult for him. So I tried to start putting him in sports because I knew that a lot of times people that play sports at an early age, they kind of kept those friends on up through high school and whatever, but he is not very good at team sports. He doesn't really like them. He gets frustrated with the directions that they were given. He played football a couple of years. I didn't make him finish out the third year. He was just so frustrated with it and the closeness of it. Because in football, it's a contact sport, and he did not want to really be that close to people. He likes to play basketball. He gets frustrated at times, but he is getting a little better at it. He doesn't play it year round. He plays it during basketball season, and that is it. He has no more interest in it after the season is over. He tried baseball. He did not like it. He couldn't really hit the ball, so he didn't like that. I feel like he would be better suited for a sport, just like a one-on-one type thing, like not a team sport, but individual sports. So we're gonna try that when he gets to middle school. We're gonna do some track and field and try to make some friends that way. Some friends his age. He did make some friends his age during sports, but he does not really play with them. Yeah, that was a lot. But anyway, friends. He doesn't really have a lot of friends over. The little kids will come and knock on the door and ask him, can he come out and play? Sometimes he'll go out. Sometimes he'll close the door in their face. Sometimes he'll look at them through the window. If they do come in, he's more or less ignoring them. He'll play, and they'll be wanting to play with him, but he's not really into what they want to do. If he invites them up to his room, he won't let them go in his room. They have to sit out in the hallway because he's afraid that they're going to touch his things, and he's 9 years old now, so sharing and things like that should not be a problem, but they are. So I feel like as far as social, he still has a long way to go with developing social skills, but he is getting better from what he used to be. And I know I say that I feel like his diagnosis is not a whole lot on me, but I know now I'm happy that he got his diagnosis. It helps me. I'm not happy that he has Asperger's. That's not what I'm saying. I'm happy that I have something here that can help me to help him. Now, from where I thought he was just hard-headed or just stubborn or whatever before, I understand him a lot better. People around us understand him a lot better. People in my family. People are not calling him mean all the time because he's not speaking to them or playing with them and things like that, or ignoring them. They're not calling me mean now because they understand what's going on. He's getting better with recognizing facial expressions in the beginning. It's kind of a learned thing. If I would get upset, I'd have to say, this is my angry face, I'm upset with you right now, and point at the face that I'm making so that he would know that I was upset then. Or we practice smiling and things like that. It might sound crazy, but we did do a lot of that stuff. A lot of that stuff was just learned for him. Let's see. He's very much into planes right now. At one point, he was into fire trucks. He didn't care about anything else except fire trucks and fire-related things, anything that had to do with firefighters and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, he says, "This is boring to me." He could tell me everything about it, and then one day it was boring. He didn't want to do it anymore, and he was into trains all of a sudden. Which these topics are not really strange for little boys or girls at all to be interested in, but it's just the amount of interest that they have in them, I'm assuming, is what makes it an Asperger's trait. Very, very, very involved and into every aspect of it and all the details of it and the names of the trains, the parts, the eras, when they started, how they were made, where they go, what types of trains run on what tracks, derailments, anything like that. He was very much into that. He still loves trains, but he was not into like little kid toy trains. He was very much into model trains, which is very, very expensive. So we had to sit down and kind of talk about maybe he should have another hobby on the side that wasn't so expensive, because it's not like we could just go out and get a model train anytime we got ready. A model train, just like the basic starter kits, was at least over $100 just for that. So he was very understanding in that way. So now he is very much into planes, the aerodynamics of them, how they fly, when they were first invented, who flew the first plane, what makes them stay up, what helps them come down, what makes them go forward, and what type of plane this is and that plane, and how many passengers can get in this one, and just like everything about it. And also plane crashes, which I'm not very fond of. He is very much into that, and why planes fall out of the sky. And he has even expressed maybe flying a plane when he grows up, or working on a plane when he grows up. And I do try to support that, because I know that that could very well turn into something that he could do when he grows up. Let's see, motor skills. We were talking about sports. He had to learn a lot. You know how things kind of come easily for you? Like natural things didn't really come natural for him. Like, he's 9 years old, he still can't tie his shoes. He can jump rope backwards, but he can't jump forward. Like, he can swing the rope backwards and jump, but he cannot swing. If he swings it forward, he falls down. I had to teach him how to skip. It took a long time for him to just learn how to like hop and skip and things like that, and stand on one foot. And his handwriting is pretty awful, but his occupational therapist said it was getting a lot better. He could not write his name in kindergarten, and he went to preschool when I was told that he could actually write his name. And towards the end of the year before he was going to kindergarten, I asked to see his notebook. It was just a bunch of squiggly lines. There was nothing there, just squiggly lines. He could not even write the first letter of his name. And I know that parents are supposed to do these things at home as well, but I'm not really a very good teacher. I'll admit that. I'll be the first to admit I'm not a very good teacher. I still have a hard time teaching him now. It's occupational therapists and things like that. They have strategies in place that help him. He has an IEP. So that's in place, and I just am not a good teacher. I will tell you that I have tried different things, and I've always put his name everywhere and put numbers everywhere, and I mean, anything that you would try to do for a small kid to get them, to help them learn names, shapes, and colors, and all that stuff, I have done all those things. But he just was not catching on. So by the end of preschool, he had an occupational therapist when I finally saw that he really wasn't able to do the things he needed to be doing when he went to kindergarten. So he had an occupational therapist for that. She has followed him all the way through 3rd grade, and he is now graduating from that portion of it. He does not have to have her for handwriting. She will be checking in on him every 6 months to make sure he's still doing well and improving in it. But he doesn't have to go to her every day during the 3 times a week during school and stuff. He doesn't have to do that anymore. So he's getting a lot better. He has issues with textures and noises. He doesn't like to wear dress clothes because they feel rough. He doesn't like to wear jeans because they hurt. Shirt tags scratch him a lot. Have to cut out all the tags of his shirts and his pants. He likes to only wear cotton. So everything we get is cotton. He likes to wear the same things over and over and over, and it's pretty bland. He doesn't like a whole lot of color, but he does not like black. So he kind of wears white and gray almost every day. He's wearing cotton jogging pants and cotton t-shirt like every single day, and I didn't understand that at first. I just thought he was being difficult, and I was still buying the blue jeans and trying to force him to wear them, and he wouldn't do it. And this year for school, I let him finally just go with me, and he just went through and he just touched everything before we bought it. And if he thought it was soft enough, then we got it. If not, we didn't, because we just didn't waste any money this year on that. And he also has a problem with personal space. He's always rubbing on me, which drives me nuts. Even though I know it's an issue for him, it still drives me crazy. It really does. He's just like touching me all the time, rubbing on me all the time. It's just like, it drives me insane. He's like, it's because you're soft, it's because your shirt is soft, it's because your arm is soft. It's like, it really just drives me insane. But he does it. He has an issue with personal space. He doesn't want anybody in his space, but he will get all up in your space when he thinks he needs to. Let's see. Can I think of anything else? Oh, he has phrases that he says a lot. This may very well be part of the OCD. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the aspirgers or not. But I know every day, about 300,000 times a day, he does this. He blows me a kiss. He says, "Mwah, love you." Okay. All right. Yep. Every single day, like over and over and over, like the same exactly. Every day. And at night, before he goes to bed, is "Mwah, good night, mommy. See you in the morning when the sun comes up. Love you. Okay, good night, mommy." Mwah, like that. And it's like he does it about 5 times before I finally say, you have to be quiet now. Like, will you please be quiet and just close your eyes and go to sleep? So he does that. He tends to line his toys up, the toys that he cares about, like the airplanes and fire trucks. He keeps them lined up a certain way all the time. If I was to go in his room right now, those things will be lined up and the rest of his room will be totally destroyed. Because he doesn't care about all the other stuff. But those things are in a specific place all the time, like lined up just all the time. Plays with them, puts them back. He doesn't want anybody to touch them at all. So I don't mess with him. I let him clean his own room. If we are having inspection, I'll go in, but I won't mess with those certain things, those particular things. I'll leave them alone. What else? Oh, he does have stomach issues. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the Asperger's, but for years and years now, he's always had digestive issues. We switched to no dairy at all. So unless he's at his grandma's house, he'll get like ice cream or something like that. But we don't really eat a lot of dairy in the house, because I thought maybe that was it. He has to take that Miralax stuff. I try to increase his vegetables. He does like vegetables and stuff, but it really does. He does have a lot of stomach issues. Anything else? He has headaches a lot, maybe 4 times a week. He has a headache in school. We have decided, because he was missing a lot of time out of school because of feeling sick, we decided that it might be his anxiety. So we made an arrangement with the nurse that if he starts feeling sick during school, he's to go lay down in the nurse's office to see if he can feel better, because it might just very well be anxiety of what's going on that day. And if he starts to feel better, then he can go back to class. And if he doesn't, then they will call me because he's, really sick. But sometimes it's just anxiety. So I think that's about it. I'm not sure if Asperger's is something that runs in the family or anything like that, but I don't know. I know he has low self-esteem. His kids are picking on him. He feels that kids are picking on him anyway. I'm not sure if they really are, because he gets confused with like different sayings. Like if he says something and somebody says, "Oh, you're so crazy," he doesn't take it as you're funny. he takes it as somebody's just calling me crazy and they're laughing at me. Or if somebody says, "Oh, get out of here," he's not taking it as a joke. He's taking it as they literally want him to leave. So he's going to leave. And they're being mean to him. That's how he takes things. But I believe that might be it. If you have any more questions or comments or anything, nothing negative, please. Positive stuff and questions only. If you have anything you'd like to add or say or ask, please feel free to leave it in the comment box below or in my inbox. I won't mind if you need to keep it private. But please, no negative stuff, because I will delete it, because I'm not playing. I don't really care about my son. So no negatives, please. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys later in the next video.